Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our first board meeting of the new school year. It's a pleasure to be back at the table. I hope everyone had a great summer and are ready to go to work and ensure that we are doing the things that we want to do in terms of driving change for our students. So welcome. Let me take the time, first of all, a few people before I call the meeting to order. I want to welcome our new governance officer, Jasmine, that is here with us this afternoon. Jasmine started with us the 1st of August. She came to us with a lot of experience in the governance role, both from the government side, municipal government side, and the education side. She has 7 years working within the education field, first with the Catholic board and then to the public board. So she comes to us with a great knowledge in governance and the role and working with trustees. So, in talking with Jasmine, I recognize that she is a no nonsense person and that she will keep us straight as we need to be as trustees. So I look forward to working with her. And can we just welcome her to this table this afternoon? And then I also want to take the time to officially, next board meeting, they will be at the table with us, but I want to officially welcome our three student trustees that are here with us. We got three of them, one from the Woodland, one from Arundel, and one from Mississauga Secondary. And how proud we are also to have our first, Trustee Cameron, stand up, our first Indigenous student trustee. All because of this man, Trustee Cameron put that motion on the table that was passed unanimously. And now, because our work, we continue to ensure that we are providing support for our Indigenous community, Indigenous students, and our Black students. And it's Austin, right? Austin is our first Indigenous trustee, and we want to welcome all three of them. So next board meeting, when they are sitting at the table with us, what we'll do, we'll give them an opportunity just to say a few words before the meeting start, okay? But tonight, they're just observing and gonna learn a few things, what take place at the table before they dive in. Okay, so welcome. And welcome back to all the staff that are here this afternoon. I saw many of you yesterday and it was a great day. It was an awesome day. And I'm looking forward to a great year. All right, so with that said, I'm gonna call this meeting to order. All right, and I'm gonna ask our tech to play our land acknowledgement and our national anthem.
The land upon which we work, live, and sustain ourselves is the ancestral and treaty lands of the Michizagig and Anishinaabe, also known today as the Mississaugas of the Credit, the rightful caretakers and title holders of this land. We also recognize the rich pre-contact history and relationships which include the Anishinaabe and the Ongwe Hongwe.
Since European contact, this land continues to be home to Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. As responsible community members, we value the diversity, dignity, and worth of all people.
Colonialism displaced and dispossessed Indigenous peoples of their ancestral land
and continues to deny their basic human rights, dignities, and freedoms.
We are committed to learning true history to reconcile, make reparations, and fulfill our treaty obligations to the original peoples and our collective responsibilities to the land, water, animals, and each other for future generations.
You say
Thank you. So, trustees, you have the agenda before you, and there is no addition to the agenda this afternoon. So I'm going to ask Trustee Cameron and Trustee Davis to put the agenda on the floor for me. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. Any declaration of conflict of interest? I'm seeing none. Okay. We're going to go under staff recognition, and we're going to go to 6.1 and on the retirement. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Vice Chair Jahal.
Thank you, Chair Green, and through you. Each month, the Peel District School Board recognizes the staff members who are retiring or have recently retired. Today, we are happy to recognize over 30 staff members who are retiring from service. Among them are 1 principal, 1 vice principal, 11 classroom teachers, 1 office manager, 1 head custodian, 5 custodians, 4 educational assistants, 3 school attendants, 1 accounting clerk, 1 designated early childhood educator, 1 equity indigenous education, school engagement and community relations, and school community specialist. All names and titles of the retirees are on the screen here. We thank all the retirees for their service and dedication to the board, students, families, and community. It is through the collective work and efforts of our staff that makes a positive difference in the lives of our students, their families, and the communities. Your commitment to help each student achieve to the best of their ability is very much appreciated. We wish the very best for your happy retirement. Congratulations, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice Chair Johal. Trustee Hobbs and Trustee B. McDonald. Putting this on the floor for me. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. And we're going to go down to item 7 under the chair's announcement. This afternoon is not really an announcement, but again, just taking the time to welcome every staff, including our principal, vice principals, our core teaching staff, custodian, office staff, you name it, budget department, every single department that we have here in the board, out in the fields and in the school, just to say welcome back. And we hope that you had some time to rest and that how much this board is looking forward in working with you to actualize our strategic plan and to ensure that our strategic plan that is in place is embedded in the work that we do, and ensuring that we are providing the tools that every child needs to succeed in life. We at this board, we are excited for what is ahead and what is to come. And we are looking forward to working alongside everyone, each and every one, as I said yesterday morning. We all are going to play a part in ensuring that our strategic plan are embedded in the work that we do. And we as a board of trustees, even though we were the one at the table with senior admin and the director's office that drive this strategic plan, but it's going to take every staff member to ensure that not only that we are successful, but that this is not just implemented here at the board level and stay on the wall and just said, yes, we have a strategic plan. We want this to be in every department. We want it to be in every school. We want our principal to know the goals and the outcomes that we have. We want to make sure that staff understand the goals and the mission of the board in terms of our strategic plan and the goal, the learning outcome that we want for a student, because it is imperative that we ensure that at the end of the day, every children is rising to their challenge. We're providing everything that we can as a board to make sure that our students succeed. Because when our students succeed, all of us succeed. So I'm looking forward to that. And as I said to yesterday in my remarks, is that we know that for a strategic plan to be active and engaging and do the work it needs to do, we need to embed and invest funds, financial support in that. And that's the reason why when we were developing our budget, we thought about what it was going to take for us to really see a robust strategic plan that engage not just our student, but our parents, our community, everyone that we work with. We want everyone to engage. So one of the things that we will be looking for is regular report, update, and where we are, where we're going, what needs to be changed, what else can we do, how can we ensure as a board that we do that. We're going to hold each other accountable to ensure that our strategic plan does not just sit on the wall, but is doing what it meant to do. And I don't need to go in all the goals again that is there, but it's imperative that those goals that is there, that everything that we do, it needs to tie back to the strategic plan. Yes, sometimes as staff, we may need to look outside of the box, look for ways and means and how we reach our children. What else that we need to do to reach them? Because it's not all students learn the same, but we want to make sure we are doing the best that we can, that when students leave Peel board, they can say they were happy to be here and that Peel gave them the best opportunity in life so that they can go out there and be that man or that woman that's going to change this world, because they will be the future of tomorrow. So I want to thank you, and I look forward to work with you and to ensure that we are driving the change that's going to bring about. We already risen to the top, the best board in Ontario, and we're going to keep that going. So thank you very much, and I look forward, on behalf of my colleagues at this table, we look forward in working with you. Thank you. So I'm going to ask Trustee Promoli and Trustee Bailey to put this on the floor for me. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. I'm going to go down to the director's report at this time.
Thank you, Chair Green. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2024-2025 school year. I'd like to begin with sharing the summer learning programs that were offered by staff that supported the learning of more than 15,000 students. Thank you to staff for their commitment to providing high quality and inclusive learning opportunities year-round. Here are a few highlights. Camp Sail and Camp Explore focused on strengthening literacy and numeracy skills for elementary students. Agents for Social Change engaged students from kindergarten to grade 12 who self-identify as Black. The Monjitang Wingushkang Culture Camp provided learning for Indigenous students. Camp Possible offered programs to support students with special education needs. Summer school programs provided the opportunity to more than 11,000 secondary students to earn a credit. Over 700 adult learners enrolled in summer learning opportunities as part of their post-secondary education and career pathways. Also, this summer, in partnership with Peel District School Board, Skills Council of Canada successfully ran a Building the Future pre-apprenticeship program at Judith Nyman Secondary School, aimed at equipping 85 students with essential skills and knowledge to pursue careers in skilled trades. The 2-month summer program featured hands-on training from industry experts from the National Automotive Parts Association and Highmark, a leader in HVAC, covering key areas such as electrical, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, construction, and automotive, with a focus on electric vehicles. The program was a huge success, and the students received SCC certificates. And in the picture, you can see several girls also participating in it. Looking ahead to this year, I'd like to thank the Board of Trustees for their leadership with the development of the multi-year strategic plan. Our 4 goals are student achievement, improving core academic skills and preparing for future success. Safety and well-being, enhancing safety, a sense of belonging, and mental health. Equity and inclusion, promoting discrimination-free learning environments that are identity-affirming and embrace Indigenous knowledge. Community engagement, engaging caregivers and community partners in supporting student success. Senior team has worked diligently over the summer months to create actions under each of the 4 goals. Our work is grounded in human rights, Ontario Ministry of Education mandates, Peel District School Board policies, strategies, and action plans. A brochure has been created that includes an infographic, which you see on the screen, a visual representation of the purpose, goals, and values of the multi-year strategic plan. As we look at our goals, it is important to understand that they are not stand-alone goals. They all intersect, and together they define our purpose, which is to promote student success through inclusion, innovation, and empowerment. Equity and inclusion provides the foundation for all we do. Communities are an integral partner in our work. Safe learning and working environments create the conditions where students can feel a sense of belonging and achieve academic success. This year, we will regularly share the work and progress on the implementation and actions of each of the goals in the multi-year strategic plan. Today, I'll provide an update and a look ahead on the goal of student achievement. This summer, the literacy and mathematics teams in the Curriculum and School Improvement Department have developed a series of resources and professional learning opportunities for the system aimed at improving scores in language and mathematics. For reading, PPM 168 mandates that school boards in Ontario administer an early reading screening to all students in senior kindergarten, grade 1 and 2 by November 2024. We are well positioned to meet the ministry requirements. Over 800 kindergarten to grade 2 teachers were trained this summer, and we expect all teachers administering the screener to be trained by the end of September. For mathematics, the board continues the work that was started last year with the goal of improving student math scores. Peel's updated 2024-25 Math Action Achievement Plan contains clear strategies to boost math competence in the classroom and to improve our accountability as a board to report to the ministry and families. Our math lead team has created a series of resources and tools for the system that will provide direct classroom support and targeted strategies to improve student achievement. Innovation plays a key role in student achievement. The Leading Education Innovation Projects, LEAP, this program has played a pivotal role in driving educational innovation across the Peel District School Board. Over the past 2 years, educational innovation, the participation has grown from 68 schools to over 184 schools. So in 2 years, from 68 schools to over 184 schools, with increased spread and scale of immersive, experiential learning opportunities for students across the board. The program has supported a wide range of initiatives that align with the Empowering Modern Learners framework. These initiatives include creating community gardens, robotics, coding, STEAM initiatives, app development, digital animation, and more, all of which have greatly enhanced student engagement and achievement while enriching the learning environment. Looking ahead, the LEAP program is poised to expand its impact by building innovation hubs within schools. These hubs will be developed in partnership with industry, business, education, and community members, offering students new opportunities to engage with cutting-edge technology and develop future readiness skills aligned with curricular expectations, stemming from the goals of the multi-year strategic plan. These partnerships will not only deepen students' learning experiences, but also ensure they are well prepared for the challenges of the modern world, positioning the Peel District School Board as a leader in educational innovation. As we continue to build on academic success, we also integrate Peel's values into all we do. Environmental stewardship is one of the Peel values in the multi-year strategic plan. This past year, 93 Peel schools were awarded Eco-School certifications to recognize their efforts to reduce environmental impact and promote sustainability practices. This year, we will deepen our efforts in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by aligning learning and environmental efforts with these global goals, ensuring that our work not only contributes to a more sustainable future, but also empowers our students with the knowledge and skills to make meaningful contributions to the local community and the world. This slide demonstrates Peel Eco-School's impact last year. The numbers demonstrate a high level of engagement in Eco-Schools initiatives, and additionally, Peel Eco-Schools outperformed the national average in several Sustainable Development Goals areas. This year, we plan to expand the scope of eco-certifications within our schools. By increasing the reach of these certifications, we will foster a culture of environmental responsibility that extends beyond the classroom and into the broader community. As we look ahead, we will continue to create conditions for students to succeed in their ambitions, establishing positive, high-achieving learning and working environments for students and staff, and nurturing pride in the Peel District School Board community. A sincere thanks to all senior team members and to all staff for their commitment and dedication to student success. I look forward to working with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. I'm going to ask Trustee Benjamin and Trustee Clark to put this on the floor. But I just want to say this to my colleagues and to staff. I want to thank you because the work that you put in over the summer, it was unbelievable. Even while you were even on vacation, you were on the phone with me 24/7. Ministry are sending and requesting additional information around report that was submitted a long time ago that they could. And you were on the phone trying to make sure that we were on top, we were on par with everything. And I also want to extend thanks to the communication department for an amazing work that Michelle and her team did, coming in and meeting with us to make sure that we had a good start. And Jasmine started on August 1st, and I came in with Sad Paul and met her, and I just threw tons of work in her lap. And so she hasn't rested since she got here because ministry was requiring so much from us. And you stood at the test, so I want to thank you. Thank you very much for your commitment. Trustees. All those in favor of the director's report? Carries. Thank you. So I'm going to move down to item 9. I think I mostly do this, but I just want to do this for the public to understand that we welcome our 3 student trustee tonight, Trustee Padwick, that will be mentored by our trustee, Susan Benjamin. He is from the Mississauga Secondary School, and Trustee Cole, which is from the Woodland, that will be mentored by Trustee Promoli. And Austin, Chris John, our Indigenous student trustee, that will be mentored by Trustee B. McDonald. And we just, again, looking forward to working with these 3 amazing student trustees. Trustee Johal and Trustee Hobbs is putting them on the floor for me. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. We don't got any report. Yes, sure, go ahead.
Sorry, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to mention that the first meeting of the Brampton School Traffic Safety Committee will be next Thursday. I'm just making this motion now because I know senior staff, sometimes you get calls from principal that, hey, morning drop-offs or afternoon drop-offs are getting out of hand, not safe. So of course, that is your tool in the toolbox to have the Brampton School Traffic Safety Council members go out and conduct investigations and provide full reports. It just sort of covers everybody on, a fresh set of eyes, looking at it from a different angle. I know that some of those committee members have been there almost 15 years now, so they've just about seen it all. So I just wanted superintendents, principals, vice principals, and staff to know that that is available to you as a resource. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Trustee Davies. Trustee Promoter.
Ditto, Mrs. Saga. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right, all those in favor? Thank you. All right, so we're going to move down to item 11, which is minutes from previous board and special committee meeting. And we had our board meeting, which was our budget meeting on July the 2nd. And the minutes are here. Trustee Cameron, Trustee B. McDonald, putting them on the floor for me. Question, concerns? I'm seeing none. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. And we're going to go down to committee meetings. Last night we had our policy meeting, and there's several motion. I'm going to, as the will of the board, do you want to do them one at a time, or do you want to take everything one time? All right. Okay, I see everybody saying everything one time. All right, good. All right, thank you. So there was 4 motion that came out of last night policy meeting, and I want to thank the staff that helped to work on these policies and presented last night, so that they could be here, so that they can be ready for September. So the first one is our transportation policy, that the revised transportation policy 39 be approved. That is Appendix 1. And that the personal mobile device use in school policy, that the personal mobile device cell phone use in school policy attached as Appendix A be approved, and that the smoking and vaping policy, that the update smoking and vaping policy attached as Appendix A be approved and replace the existing smoking policy, Appendix 3, and that the revised trustee code of conduct August 24, that the revised trustee code of conduct attached as Appendix B be approved with an effective date of August 28, 2024, and that's at Appendix 4. And Trustee Brad McDonald and Trustee Alves is putting these on the floor for me. Any question, concern? We had a lot of discussion last night. All those in favor? Carry. Awesome. Thank you. And so we're going to go right down to our third quarter financial report. And I'm going to turn it over to Director Saru to introduce Associate Director Gill.
Thank you, and through you, Chair Green, I will now ask Associate Director and the Chief Operating Officer, Jaspal Gill, to present the third quarter financial report.
Thank you, Director Saru, and through you, Chair Green. The report provides board's actual expenditures up to May 31st, 2024. The overall expenditure rate is above those of previous years at nearly 74%. But this rate is slightly below the benchmark of 75%. Although overall expenditures are trending below budget, there is a variability in spending due to slow starts in certain programs and timing of expenditures. Staff estimates that the full year normal operating expenditures will be closer to the budget at the end of our fiscal year. The report also includes expenditures and the ministry grant allocations outside of the grants for student needs
as well as funding for any federal or third-party programs. Controller Latasha Charles and I are happy to respond to any questions.
Okay, putting them on the floor for me is Trustee Promoli and Trustee Davies. Question, concern? Does look like anybody jumping up to ask any, so all those in favor? Carries, thank you. And thank you, Associate Director Gill and Controller Charles. Thank you always for good work. Thank you very much. Okay, all right. There is no communication. There's no trustee motion for consideration. No notice of motion. I'm going to move down to 16.1, which is our proposed amended bylaw that is in front of us this evening. It's a little bit lengthy, but I think it's important that I take some time to read this so we really understand what is going on. Based on the ministry PPM 1, we have to make this amendment. So, and I'm going to read it, and then Trustee Cameron is going to put it on the floor for me, and then Trustee Alves is going to second that for me, as agreed up to do. Whereas the Ministry of Education has moved forward with amending to the regulation 463/97 electronics meeting and meeting attendance to promote and enhance accountability and transparency and fairness by adding new exception to the in-person presence required that apply to trustees. Whereas the new exception to the physical presence come into effect on July 29, 2024. Wherefore, be it resolved that a notice is hereby provided that an amendment to the procedure bylaw will be brought into the Board of Trustees for consideration at the September 25th meeting. The following amendment be made at the procedure bylaw. And first, electronic participation, except as provided below. The Peel District School Board will provide an opportunity to members, student trustees, community members, when requested by any one of them to participate electronically in any board or committee meeting in accordance with the provision of the Act and in particular the anterior regulation 463-97. Electronics meeting, the electronics meeting shall be provided in such a way that the rules governing conflict of interest of members, student trustees, and community are complied with, as well as closed session confidentiality and security can be maintained. And I'm going to read these. And first one is A. If a member of the board proposed to participate in a meeting described in the Ontario regulation, subsection 1, by electronic means, the member shall submit a request in writing and the reason for the request to the chair of the board before the meeting begins. The chair or the vice chair or other members of the boards are applicable may approve a request if any of these are satisfied one or more of the following existing circumstances that exist. The member primary place of residence within the area of jurisdiction of the board is located 125 kilometers or more from the meeting location. 1, weather conditions that do not allow the member to travel to the meeting location safely. That a member cannot be physically present at the meeting due to health-related issues. The member has a disability that makes it challenging to be physically present at the meeting. The member cannot be physically present due to family responsibility in respect of the member's spouse, a parent, step-parents, a foster parents of the member or the member's spouse. A child, stepchild, foster child, or a child who is under legal guardians of the member's spouse. A relative of the member who is dependent on the member for care or assistant, or a person who is dependent on the member for care or assistant who consider the member to be like a family member. The member cannot be physically present due to extenuating circumstances in respect of travel difficulty, work-related obligation, other significant personal matters. And as you can hear, this takes effect on July 29. Question. Yes, Trustee Clark.
Right. It's on the right side. Apologies. Just a point of clarification. It says in writing. I'm assuming it's not a physical copy. The message to explain why they can't be there and have to participate virtually. It says in writing as written. So is an email enough?
Email is enough, but
you want physical copy?
Yes.
Okay.
An email is fine because an email we can keep on record. It is important that we also noted that it clearly state requested and need to satisfy these sections. So I don't want trustee to leave here thinking, are you just sending an email and that's it? It's request, you need to get a response. So that means you should be sending the request prior to before board meetings start. It cannot happen after.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Alves.
Hey, Jeff, so through your chair, just for a clarification. So if I'm just giving a hypothetical, just I think I understood where Trustee Clark was coming from. So to Mr. Chairman's point, Chairman Green correctly noted, if you have a work obligation, an email beforehand to the chairman, you reference the procedure bylaw.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, so, and we will be sticking to the bylaw closely. We want to make sure that we're not stepping out of line. And if I miss something, I got a capable governance officer that will guide me before I respond, or the vice chair respond. And it could be a designate also. For instance, I could maybe not present, the vice chair may not be present. I can designate another trustee to do that. Okay, all right? Yes. Trustee Promoli.
Thank you, Chair. I know you sent this around to us earlier this summer, and I wanted to mention that I appreciated one of the comments from one of my colleagues at the table that this is a part-time position officially, and I wanted to note just for our own thoughts the discrepancy in attendance expectations from this role compared to other elected positions.
Yes.
And I just want to note that. I find it interesting when this is a part-time role and it is compensated very differently from roles that are paid a lot better. So.
And thank you very much for that.
Thank
and
you,
just so that you're aware, I got two more, but just so you're aware, just to let you know that when the Ontario School Board Association got this, everybody got it like the same time. So the School Board Association got it. We all got this like the first week of, the last week of July, we received this. And we have to make sure that this is in play by today. So we have to respond and say, yes, it was approved. The Ontario School Board Association has pushed back on the government with all of this. And the response was not favorable. So I just want you to put that out there. It's they would have said to us, there's more coming. So just to put that out there.
Just to follow up, Chair, did they respond mentioning that they would be following the same attendance rules, the ministry? Is that their expectation at their role also?
Well, no.
Just out of curiosity,
No.
I'm just wondering if this is a new expectation
This
for...
this is the expectation for
Okay.
trustees.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chair.
Trustee B. McDonald.
Yeah, I'll start with some questions. So I guess when this all came out at the end of July, I was under the impression if you didn't attend and didn't have reason to attend electronically, you would, that you would forfeit your trustee position. Yeah. But that's not what this bylaw says. It just means you are either eligible to attend electronically or not. That doesn't say anything about consequences. Yeah. There's other bylaws that talk about consequences, which would mean if you miss 3 meetings in a row, then, that either you're removed from the committee or you're removed from the board of trustees. You forfeit your trustee role. So am I understanding correctly that what I read in the news to what I'm now reading the bylaw is just that means if you can't get qualified reason to attend electronically, you're just not noted as part of that meeting and you're absent. And if you have 3 in a row, for example, that means you're no longer a trustee or part of that committee that you may be absent from.
So what I can do, I can turn to my governance officer to give you a breakdown, then I can give you what I learned, because I had to make a call and said, please explain to me. And so I had a better understanding of what does this mean. But Jasmine has it in front of her, and I'm gonna turn to her to give you some explanation, and then I tell you what I was told. Okay, over to you, Jasmine.
Thank you, Chair. Through the Chair. So the ministry moved forward with amendments to Ontario Regulation 463/97, which is the electronic meetings and meeting attendance. And this was to promote and enhance the accountability and transparency and fairness by adding these new exceptions to the in-person requirements that applies to trustees. So the regulation is taking place in 2 phases. So the first phase, which you have in front of you this evening, has already come into effect as of July 29th. So we're looking for approval tonight so that we're in compliance with that in our bylaw. But my understanding is your request to be present at an electronic meeting would count as your attendance at the meeting.
And
so to qualify the absence,
right,
just means you're considered absent. Because I've been in the board 21 years. I traveled. I was doing meetings all over the country and wherever because I traveled, and so that was. And back then we had 2 meetings a month. I mean, it was stress managing attending meetings. So the absence is just considered if you can't qualify, you don't have a good reason. You're just absent, and that's just part of your absence. And we have other bylaws that manage the absence and the quantities and the consequences of that. There's no special penalty assigned with this other than you're just marked absent.
Part two that is coming, that's where the penalty will be.
Okay.
That's where you lose your seat as a trustee.
Okay.
Part 2, and that will come in effect. This is what I was told. Well, that will come in effect for 2025.
Okay.
2025. So we're waiting for that.
Okay, and I appreciate the clarification, and I just want to echo Trustee Promoli's comment. Part-time is not the right answer. I would call it a slightly compensated volunteer role. And we are paid as Peel trustees much higher than many other boards. And I find that, offensive when other elected officials, councillors or MPPs in this province have no such penalties assigned to it, especially if we're talking phase 2, which I'm not aware of. The wording, so I really can't talk to it, but I just find that offensive. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, Trustee Alves, then Trustee Bailey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sorry. Trustee Davies first. Sorry, Trustee Davies.
I am understanding that this is retroactive to July 29th.
Yes.
I know that we've had a couple of committee meetings and all that stuff where absences have happened since then. Do we have an amnesty from then till now? Because we're not implementing this until tonight. So anything that happened before tonight, is there an amnesty there? I'm just asking.
So I don't think we're going to go back. I think we're going to move forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. You're right. Yes. So Trustee Davies, Trustee Bailey just pointed out that, and she's right. This piece is for the general board meeting. So committee meetings still apply to, we're in terms of our own policies and procedures, the committee meetings. Yeah.
I think this is board and committee meetings.
Okay. Oh, no, you have to still send, you still have to send your regrets, but in terms of the penalty piece that will come in part 2 will be for general board meeting. Yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, through you, sir. So on OPSPA's website, on one of the links they've posted for a guidebook from October 24th of 2022, they speak to the penalty and they say a trustee must be physically present in the meeting room of the board for at least 3 regular meetings of the board in each 12-month period beginning November 15th of that calendar year. Furthermore, a trustee cannot miss 3 consecutive meetings unless approval is granted by the board. All boards have policies in place to allow for electronic participation in meetings if a trustee is unable to attend in person, and trustees are also permitted to take parental and pregnancy leaves. It goes on.
Yeah.
But my question for the governance officer to clarify is whether part 2 is, because I also.
No, you got to come through me, trustee.
Chair. Sorry.
And then I will go
through
to her.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, my question through you would be if the governance officer could clarify if this went active in 2022 or if we're seeing an updated amendment to the Education Act from 2022 in 2025.
So I can respond to you. Whatever is on OPSFOR website, that was for previously. OPSFOR is still trying to work with the ministry because OPSFOR decided that they're not going to give up until somebody gives some explanation, and maybe hopefully we'll make some adjustments because OPSFOR feels that, this is, as 2 of my colleagues already said, this is just some said volunteer, some said part-time work, and no other, government has been held to this high accountable. So OPSFOR is still pushing the envelope on that one. So what you see there won't change until when they have an answer that they think feasible so they can advise boards across the province in that way. And myself and Carla will bring this board back once we have information on that and where we are. We will bring back information to this board so that we can be clear and where we are.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Yep, because the only reason I referenced it is also in the Education Act.
Yes. Yeah. So and just so trustee know that because they are the government, they can change anything that they want anytime, and basically we don't have a say. So, we are. Yes, Trustee Bailey.
So I agree with, through you, Chair, I do agree with what Trustee Promoli and Trustee B. McDonald has said. My question, though, is a little bit, sorry, there's a fly, a little bit different. It's in terms of the, it's in terms of the, how the policy is worded and written. We have to show up at the meeting. So let's say today's meeting, it's now 7:56. If I was to show up at 7:30, I still came. Does that still count?
Yes, so you're still present. It's just that you were late.
Okay.
Okay. All right. See now the question. All those in favor? Carries. Thank you. All right. We are moving. All right. So I'm going to move. I'm going to ask Trustee Johal and Trustee Bailey to move adoption of the closed session meeting. Okay. All those in favor? Carries. And just before you, I asked for move adjournment. I just let you know that over the last little while, just before our previous education minister, Mr. Lecce, leave, he was in Peel. He was in Peel making 2 or 3 different announcements. When he was moved to a different department, the new education minister, Mr. Smith, was in Peel making an announcement. And tomorrow morning, we got the new Minister of Education, MPP J.L. Dunlap is visiting Peel. So Peel is in the spotlight, and the only thing I can say to trustees, we must be doing something right. That's all I'm going to say. And Trustee Cameron and myself and the superintendent for the Caledon area, we will be at Tony Pontas, the director, and well, all the senior staff will be there to hear and see what next for Peel. We did receive email from ministry. I think they're happy that they are given approval for new school and some addition. So if you see that out there, yes, so they're happy that they're doing that. So thank you very much. And I look forward to hear what the new minister has to say to us. And we won't, any opportunity we get to put a word in the ear. If you're cheer for Peel, we're going to do that. Okay. So with that said, Trustee Clark and Trustee Davies are moving adjournment for me. All those in favor? Thank you very much. Have yourself a wonderful night. Take care.